அடுத்ததாக மிஸ்டர் பூர்ணலிங்கம் IAS அவர்கள், நாங்கள் ஏற்கனவே அறிமுகத்தில் சொன்ன மாதிரி அவர்கள் ஒரு சிறந்த நிர்வாகி. அவர் நமக்கு இன்னும் விளக்கமாக நிலம், ஆளுமை, அரசியல் பற்றி நமக்கு கருத்துக்களை தெரிவிப்பாங்க. தேங்க்யூ.
Chief guest of this function, Justice Chandru. Special guest, Justice Prabhat Srinivasan. And the organizer and the brain behind today's event, my colleague and friend, Dr. Shivagami. And friends. At the outset, I would like to make a confession. Please don't summarize what I am going to say. When Sivagami invited me, I don't know why she invited me. And I told her, look, this land business and me, I have worked in so many places, but not in land. She said, sir, don't bother. I have worked in health, education, that kind of stuff. He said, you come and speak what you think is about it. She gave me the freedom. But then, having accepted a function, you will have to do some research. At least Google Friend is there now. Therefore, I can get some data and other things. She said, speak with statistics. Then I could gather something. I spent about 1 or 2 hours and got some information. But when I came to this conference, I find it's a conference for social justice, women empowerment, and I'm afraid of women because so many subjects have been discussed. So I don't know what to do. Anyway, whatever I wanted to say, fortunately, Justice Chandru has covered. I would like to give a different perspective. You know, it's my speech, since I have confessed that my knowledge of land and land forms is very limited. Yes, only as a sub-collector, Karur, that was in 1972. When this reform movement was at its peak in my view, I remember that. It was not only the Tenancy Acts and the Tenants Protection Act, Land Ceiling Act, all these acts were, I was the person implementing it as a sub-collector. And I have been in the academy where I know challenge to poverty by Pudhiya, those days, Asian drama, Tandekar and Rath about poverty measurements. All those stuff in 1960s or 70s stuff, I read it and I was very much motivated to make a difference in rural scene. So I was passing almost all orders in favor of tenants. The landlords were naturally happy. Kulitalai. The place was Kulitalai. All Kaveri belts. I got so many suits against me. Fortunately, I was ignorant about suits. Personal suits, sub-collector, etc., etc. I didn't bother. I was going ahead and doing what I thought was correct as a measure of improving the welfare of the poor and the needy. But unfortunately, I got transferred within 1 year afterwards. These lawyers forgot about me. There are no suits. Otherwise, personal suits and all that, it seems I have to defend it for ages. Ignorance was bliss at that time. Now, I didn't have any interaction with this land ceiling and other things or tenancy issues because when I was collector, both Madurai and Dharmaburi, there were no issues. I mean, that's what I saw. The initial energy in implementing land reforms and it was right, you know, India was an agricultural society at that time. More people, probably 80% of the population, was dependent on agriculture. So the government was very keen and brought in all these legislation. We also, as an agent of government, did it very sincerely in those days. Many others would not have done it. I'm not saying administration is always right. So I will, without going into that, I looked into the numbers. How many acres were really distributed? The Google gave me the number. Tamil Nadu's redistribution was 1.5 million acres to 1.3 million beneficiaries. I looked at the number for West Bengal because it was under the communist regime. Or maybe it was Congress at that time. Communists came later. It was only 1.1 million acres. So I would say that Tamil Nadu has done reasonably well. But further progress in that area is going to be difficult because lands have been settled. If you try to implement land reform the way it was done long back, I doubt very much. Sivagami is the best person, she had all the statistics, whether anything concrete would come. I wouldn't know because I didn't go into it. Naturally, because the subject was land and politics. Therefore, I didn't go into that. It would have been certainly, as Mr. Justice Chandru said, it would have been in favor of the upper caste, obviously, because they were dominating. They would be Tasildars and others would be their friends. They could brave them and get the surplus lands for them. It is obvious. But then, the present day, it is a change. Now we are talking about 60 acts. Today is 2024 when artificial intelligence is dominating the world and India too. So we have to have a changed thinking. I also looked at the number of people in agriculture, employment. In agriculture, all India, not Tamil Nadu alone. 2007-8, it's about 59%. It used to be agricultural society. See, when we got independence, it was nothing but agriculture and a little bit of textiles. That was the position. Probably 85-90%. 2007-8, it is 59%, of which 75% is female labor, female participation. 2017-18, it fell down to 44%. And the female participation is 57%. 2020-21, this is the Ministry of Labour Statistics. 46.5% has gone up actually, probably because of COVID. More people came to the villages and they had to work in agriculture. So if you see, there is a secular decline in the people in agriculture. I would say it's right, because if you look at American statistics, which I also looked at, less than 2% of the people are in agriculture. When your country develops, agriculture becomes less important, more intensive. And our government probably did land reforms slightly better than many other states, or much better than many other states, because I have some knowledge about what's happening in Bihar, UP. I visited those states after retirement, and they were not sincere at all, as far as I know, in implementing land reforms. The same feudalism, the same higher caste domination still going on. And there is one more thing Tamil Nadu government did. We focused on electrification. People have to get electricity. We completed rural electrification in 1974. When I visited Bihar in 2019, I saw they were proudly saying we are electrifying villages. The chairman of the electricity board met me and said, "Sir, how we are doing it, come and see." There was a video. Whereas we finished in 1974, then the government said, we will give electricity to agriculture purposes. Then it became free. Originally, it was 10 paisa or so. In became free. Therefore, agriculture was made a little more productive and profitable by these measures. But then, as I said, the new era, we have to plan ourselves for the new era. So I would request the group to discuss, is it not better to discuss investment and human capital and social justice? That is probably the requirement of the present day. Namely, if human can become skilled, every one of us can become skilled, our productivity will go up, both in agriculture, even otherwise. The ability to earn more, the ability to live well. And also in these land issues, you had a factor in urbanization. Tamil Nadu is the most urban state, with about 52% or so urbanized, and it is going to be 60-70%, There's nothing wrong in that. Therefore, these changes which are happening in the global, in the macro level, I would suggest that this is my thought, because I have confessed that I don't know much about land, therefore I can say what I feel like. Investment in human capital. What do I mean? What do I mean by human capital? Education and health. These are the two things. China did the same thing. China achieved great numbers in human health in 1960s. Of course, Washington ingredients. Whereas we are still struggling to achieve those numbers in human capital. If you invest in human capital, the human mind will be able to produce more, resolve most of the issues. That's my view. And then social justice. I recall that Thiru, I don't know, all of you may know, Pirapukkum ella uyirkum. That is, all men are born equal. That's what he said 2000 years back. But still, we are not equal. We are divided by caste, religion, language, area, etc. Unfortunately, not even a thinking that we should be trying to be equal. It's not happening. No leader speaks about it. No religion talks about it. But Thiruvalluvar said it about 2000 years back. Therefore, social justice with human capital development would be the major area of investment and concern for India as a whole, Tamil Nadu as well. Mortality rate is a measure of the health of the society. Infant mortality rate. It is, national average is 30. Ours, Tamil Nadu is 15. Kerala is always top 7. Because there is women empowerment there, women education, literacy. Because of that, Kerala was always the best. It was for a very long time. Tamil Nadu is 15 and UP 41.
But infant mortality rate is much below Sri Lanka, Maldives, China.
No, I am giving an interstate comparison. China achieved this number in 1962, 65. I have seen it. Achieved this number 65. A developed country will be about 10, 8, 10. Under 5 mortality. See, infant is when he is born. It depends on maternal health. The under 5 mortality is that up to 5, then again is a very tender age. Now, our country average is 36. MP tops the list with 56, Madhya Pradesh. Tamil Nadu is 17. Is the latest SRS data. Then maternal mortality. Delivery women child. In those days, I remember, Devadinama Tapchita, Prasavatala. It was a condom, it was considered. When I was young, I heard this. I thought it's routine that people die at delivery. So, அதுதான் நம்ம கல்ச்சர் நம்ம ஊர்ல இருந்தது. I am talking about 55, 56. Now, that number state, India's average is 130. See, 1 lakh population, death per 1 lakh population, that's how it's measured. UP is the highest with 197. I read somewhere 2/3 of the maternal deaths are taking place in of the country in UP alone. And Tamil Nadu is 63, Kerala 42. All because of the maternal health care, that is children's care, mother's care. Our TFR, I think all of you may not know, total fertility rate, namely, for a family, 2.1 is the stabilization rate. For a husband and wife, to have 2.1 children. Don't ask me how 0.1. It's an average. So it provides for mortality. And 2.1 is a stabilization population rate. That's the aim of the country. We have, as a country, achieved it. 2.2. But there is an interstate variation. Tamil Nadu is 1.66. Kerala is 1.7. We are one of the lowest. Our women have become very empowered there. They don't want to have more children. Even after two girl children, they say, "Sir, no, எனக்கு வேண்டாம். ஆம்பளை பிள்ளை வேண்டாமா? நான் கேட்டிருக்கேன் ஸ்பெஷல் ஆஃபீஸர் இருக்கும்போது. பாக்கியம் knows. அதெல்லாம் வேண்டாம், பொம்பளை பிள்ளைங்க தான் பெட்டர். அந்த லெவலுக்கு it has come. It is 1.66 in Bihar, 3.2, UP 2.9. Because of the better performance of southern states, Indian average looks okay. Otherwise, some of the states are as bad as African countries. Now, I had another statistics, percentage of deliveries by trained people. After all, why maternal deaths take place? There are trained people are not there, nurses, etc., or hospital. Number of people not having trained deliveries, percentage of deliveries by untrained people. I can put it that way. It is national average is about 8. Tamil Nadu is 0.2. And Kerala is 0.1. And Bihar, the worst, 19%. So, with all this, if you don't have trained people for deliveries and taking care of women and children, naturally they will die. So, this is fundamental to women's empowerment, in my view. Maternal health, child health. Then, I have nothing to do with land, madam. So, this is very fundamental. And therefore, my request to you would be to focus on the new emerging areas of human development, women's development, social equality and justice. How to bring about, not merely through land, it can be brought about in many other ways, namely by quality education and very good urban living. Even the equity market, which is it's dominating now, why not they get educated and become rich without land? It's happening today. My neighbor, which is having a 20 crore house, he is just doing equity market. He is not doing anything else. So with these few words, I once again thank Sivanandan. I have probed you into something else, I presume. And thank you very much.
Land, we are defining what is land. அதில் Poornalingam சார் ஹியூமன் கேபிட்டல் அதை கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. மனிதர்கள் இல்லாமல் நிலம் இல்லை. இப்போ மனிதர்களுக்கான ஒரு கல்வி முறை எப்படி இருக்கணும், அது முக்கியமாக பெண்கள் எப்படி நிலத்தின் மீது ஆளுமை செலுத்த முடியும், அதிகாரம் செலுத்த முடியும். இப்போ ஹியூமன் கேபிட்டல் டெவலப் பண்ணணுன்றது ஒரு டெஃபினிஷனாக எங்களுடைய லேண்ட் லைவ்லிஹுட்ல சார் கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. தேங்க்யூ ஸோ மச். அந்த கேள்வி
ரேஷன் கார்டு ஏன் இஷ்யூ பண்றாங்கன்னு கேட்டீங்க. அந்த கேள்வி தான் நானும் கேட்டேன் என்னுடைய ஸ்பீச்ல. நானும் அதுதான் கேட்டேன். அதாவது மொத்த பாப்புலேஷன்ல, தமிழ்நாடு பாப்புலேஷன்ல ஏறக்குறைய 21% பிலோ பாவர்ட்டி லைன்ல AAY கார்டுன்னு அது ஒரு 9%. அப்புறமா வந்து 8 கிலோ ரைஸ் வந்து ஒரு 13%, 12%, டோட்டலா 21%, 21.3% வந்து இந்த மாதிரி அவங்க கார்டு வச்சிருக்காங்க. ஏன் இந்த கார்டு அவங்க கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா, அந்த லாஜிக் வந்து இவங்க எல்லாம் புவர், அஃபோர்ட் பண்ண முடியாது, அதனாலதான் கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஆனா பாவர்ட்டியை நாங்க குறைச்சிட்டோம்னு சொல்றாங்க இல்லையா? அது எதனால குறைச்சாங்கன்னா, லேண்ட் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸ் பண்ணி குறைக்கல, இந்த ரேஷன் கார்டு அதாவது ஃப்ரீயா டிஸ்ட்ரிபியூட் பண்ணி கொடுக்குறாங்க. அப்ப நான் என்ன கேட்கிறேன்னா, லேண்ட் கொடுக்கறது பெட்டரா அல்லது சாப்பாடு கொடுக்கறது பெட்டரா? ஏன்னா நீங்க வந்து ஃபுட்டு கொடுக்கும் பொழுது நிறைய காஸ்ட் இதுல செலவாகுது. ஆனா லேண்ட் கொடுத்தா அது ஒன் டைம். ஆனா அதை அவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்க மனசு இல்லாததுனால இந்த பிடிஎஸ் ஸ்கீம் மூலமாகவும், ரூரல் அன்எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் ஸ்கீம் இருக்கு இல்லையா, எம்ப்ளாய்மெண்ட் ஸ்கீம், அது மூலமாகவும் இதை கவர் பண்றாங்க. இதுதான் அவங்களுடைய ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜி. அதாவது லேண்ட் ரிஃபார்ம்ஸை தள்ளி போட்டுட்டே போறாங்க.